Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel VC Coin and History, where we dive deep into the world of coins, collectibles, and they're the 1951D, Lincoln Wheat Cent, commonly referred to as the 1951D, 1 cent, is a classic example of mid-American numismatic design that symbolizes not just the economic life of the United States, but also the cultural and ideological motifs embedded in coinage, bearing the famous inscription, "In God We Trust," across the top of the obverse front. This coin reflects the deep-rooted values of faith and unity in American society. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the 1951D penny features the distinguished profile of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Facing right, his somber gaze evoking themes of liberty, sacrifice, and enduring strength during a turbulent period of American history. Above Lincoln's head is the motto, "In God We Trust." To his left is the word liberty, and to his right, the year of minting 1951, followed by the D-Mint mark, indicating that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. On the reverse side, the coin continues the message of unity and equality with the phrase "E pluribus unum," Latin, for out of many, one, etched above two symbolic wheat ears, the signature design of what collectors call the wheat penny, or wheat cent. This motif, present from 1909 to 1958, celebrates American agriculture and economic self-reliance. The words 1 cent dominate the reverse, with United States of America positioned directly below. The wheat design, along with its classical inscriptions, gives the coin a timeless aesthetic that ties in with broader philosophical themes: freedom, fraternity, and equality, which can be associated with the revolutionary ideals of liberté, often connected with French republicanism, even though these words don't literally appear on the coin. Symbolically, however, they resonate with Lincoln's own vision of democracy and equality. Though republic and le griffle do not directly pertain to U.S. coinage, their presence in your query may symbolize the intersection of American and European ideals of republicanism and artistic heritage. One could imagine republic referring to the republic-style values Lincoln upheld, while le griffle, although not directly tied to U.S. coins, might allude to classical engravers or artists that shaped Western numismatic art. Much like Brenner, whose initials VDB sometimes appear at the base of Lincoln's shoulder on earlier cents, though typically not visible on later coins, like the 1951D. The 1951D penny was minted in huge quantities, over 625 million coins, making it common in circulation but still valuable to collectors, especially in high grades. Uncirculated versions with strong luster and minimal contact marks can command respectable prices, particularly in MS65 red condition and above. The coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, standard for the era, giving it a distinctive, reddish-brown appearance that can tone attractively with age. Over time, these coins can develop rich patanas, from chocolate brown to vibrant red-orange, further enhancing their numismatic charm. Many collectors pursue the 1951D2 complete Lincoln Wheat Cent sets, with special attention given to die varieties, minting errors, or coins struck from fresh dies exhibiting sharp detail. This cent stands as a humble but powerful artifact, a daily object carrying layered meanings. It links the American spirit of liberty to universal ideals, like equality and fraternity, echoing through the Latin phrases and the historic imagery it bears. Whether found in an old jar or nestled within a velvet-lined collector's case, the 1951D Lincoln Wheat Cent reminds us that even the smallest coin can carry the weight of a nation's ideals, history, and artistry. It's not merely a piece of metal, but a symbol of a time, a leader, and a people striving toward unity and progress, values as relevant today as they were in Lincoln's time. The next up top to the 1957D Lincoln Wheat Cent 1 cent is a numismatic artifact that reflects not just American history, but also a blend of symbolic elements, including ideals from Western philosophies such as liberty, ego-light. Though this French motto is not officially inscribed on US coins, its philosophical influence resonates through the language and symbolism found on American coinage. The 1957D penny, minted in Denver, is indicated by the D as a vivid piece of mid-20th century monetary history. This coin was part of the final years of the iconic Wheat Cent series, which ran from 1909 to 1958, and featured the classic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and two wheat stalks framing the reverse, symbolizing prosperity and agricultural abundance in the United States. The obverse of the coin features the right-facing profile of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, who preserved the Union during the Civil War, and signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Above his head, the inscription, "In God We Trust," reflects the nation's spiritual ethos and was added to American currency to reaffirm divine guidance during turbulent times. To the left of Lincoln's profile is the word liberty, a foundational principle of the American Republic and democracy, while to the right is the date, 1957, accompanied by the D mint mark, indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint, which was heavily operational during the 1950s. The reverse side of the 1957D cent is equally rich in symbolism, dominated by the bold inscription 1 cent and United States of America. It represents both the coin's denomination and the issuing nation. Framing these words are two stylized wheat ears, which give the wheat penny its nickname. These ears of wheat symbolize American agricultural strength, economic resilience, and self-sufficiency, values that were especially relevant during the Great Depression and World War II eras, which the wheat cent series spanned. Just above the denomination sits the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many. 1. A unifying motto adopted by the Founding Fathers to express the formation of one nation from many states and peoples. Although the phrase liberty, égalité, fraternité is French in origin and famously associated with the French Revolution, its ideals, liberty, equality, and fraternity, strongly parallel American values as embedded in the Declaration of Independence and Constitution. The inclusion of these ideals in your interpretation of the coin provides a philosophical overlay that highlights universal democratic principles shared across Western republics. Likewise, the word republic echoes both French and American sentiments of governance by the people, reinforcing the notion that coins are not merely tools of commerce, but cultural texts that embody ideological identity. The mention of Le Griffel in your prompt is interesting. While this name does not appear in official U.S. Mint records or known engraver lists for American coinage, it could be a symbolic attribution or an allegorical artist's name suggesting European influence, or a philosophical lens through which the coin is interpreted. If we read Le Griffel allegorically, it might be seen as a reference to Franco-American cultural synergy, perhaps a nod to shared revolutionary ideals or artistic contributions between the two nations. In terms of historical context, 1957 was a year characterized by post-war optimism, the early Cold War, and rapid industrial growth in America. The Lincoln wheat cent during this time was widely used in daily commerce and holds nostalgia for generations who remember penny candy, soda fountains, and gas prices under 30 cents a gallon. The coin itself was struck in large numbers, over 1.05 billion at the Denver Mint alone, making it common in circulated grades, yet still valuable to collectors for its historical significance, uncirculated condition, and visual appeal. In conclusion, the 1957D Lincoln wheat penny is more than a monetary instrument. It is a miniature sculpture, a reflection of American ideals, and a product of its era. The design speaks volumes about national identity, unity, agricultural pride, and moral foundations. When overlaid with philosophical interpretations like liberty, égalité, fraternité, and references such as republic and Le Griffel, the coin becomes an intersection of political philosophy, economic history, and artistic expression, a lasting artifact of human values. Cast in copper. The next up, top 3, the 1958D Lincoln wheat cent, bearing the inscription Liberty, Égalité, Fraternité, and attributed to the symbolic Republic Le Griffel, serves as a captivating intersection of American numismatics and imagined Franco-Republican ideals. This coin, minted in Denver D, is part of the final year of the iconic wheat reverse Lincoln cent series, which began in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the coin prominently features Lincoln's profile with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above, Liberty to the left, and the date 1958, followed by the mint mark D to the right. On the reverse side, the design features two stylized wheat ears framing the central legend, 1 cent and United States of America, with the Latin phrase e pluribus unum arched across the top. While the actual coin was minted and circulated exclusively in the United States, the inclusion of liberty, égalité, fraternité, the national motto of France, and the artistic attribution to a fictional republic Le Griffel reflects a poetic or symbolic blending of revolutionary democratic values from both American and French traditions. Asterisk. The 1958D penny holds particular significance as the last of the wheat cent series before the transition in 1959 to the Lincoln Memorial, reverse marking a new chapter in American coinage. Over 800 million of these coins were struck in Denver alone, making it a common issue, yet its historical place as the final wheatback year elevates its numismatic interest. The coin is made primarily of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a reddish appearance when uncirculated, despite its commonality in lower grades. High-quality specimens, especially those in mint state red MS65RD or higher, are of greater value to collectors. Additionally, some rare varieties such as minor double dyes or repunched mint marks are studied closely by Aracoin specialists, asterisk, in a broader symbolic and philosophical lens. This coin can be interpreted as a tangible embodiment of enduring ideals. The American values engraved into its surface: trust in God, liberty, unity from diversity, e pluribus unum echoes strongly when viewed alongside the revolutionary French triad of liberty, equality, fraternity. The imaginative attribution to Le Griffel, possibly a nod to Raymond Le Griffel, a known French medalist and sculptor, infuses the piece with a transatlantic artistic homage, suggesting a unity of humanist design philosophies between nations. Thus, while the coin itself is a humble piece of copper once passed from hand to hand in everyday American life, it becomes in this imaginative narrative a bridge between two republics' shared democratic dreams. Asterisk from a historical, cultural, and artistic perspective. The 1958D Lincoln wheat cent is not merely a unit of currency, but a token of memory. It recalls the legacy of Lincoln, the values of a free society, and the changing face of American coinage. Collectors and historians alike regard it as both an end and a beginning. The final note in the Song of Wheat Cents, and the overture to a new numismatic era, enriched with symbolic reinterpretations like those referencing republic. It transcends its materiality to become a miniature monument to freedom, unity, and democratic legacy. Asterisk. The next up top for the 1952D Lincoln wheat cent is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, merging patriotic symbolism with historical resonance. However, in your reference, the phrase liberty, eagle-eye, fraternite, along with republic, Le Griffel blends American coinage elements with French revolutionary and artistic terminology. While not historically part of US coinage, we can explore this unique interpretation and provide a richly detailed, symbolic explanation, weaving together coin design, minting history, cultural themes, and artistic allegory. Minted at the Denver Mint in the 1952D Lincoln wheat cent represents more than just a monetary unit. It is a symbol of American identity and resilience during the mid-20th century. This coin bears the image of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, who symbolizes unity, equality, and the fight for human dignity. His portrait facing right was first introduced on the cent in 1909 to commemorate his 100th birthday. Designed by Victor David Brenner, a Lithuanian-born engraver whose initials VDB are found on some issues of the coin. The obverse of the coin features the following inscriptions: "In God we trust," arches across the top, reflecting America's religious and moral ethos. Liberty is struck to the left of Lincoln's profile, anchoring the core value of the nation. 1952 they appears to the right of Lincoln's bust, with the D representing the Denver Mint, which struck over 746 million of these coins that year. The inclusion of liberty, eagle-eye, fraternite, a famous French national motto meaning liberty, equality, fraternity, evokes a philosophical connection between American democracy and the ideals of the French Revolution. While not literally found on the cent, this symbolic alignment deepens the interpretative richness of the coin, suggesting a shared global aspiration for human rights and societal harmony. The reverse displays two stalks of Durham wheat, one on each side, curving inwards like protective arms cradling the central inscriptions. One cent in bold font, asserting the denomination, United States of America, just beneath it. E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one, crowns the top, reinforcing the American ideal of unity among diversity. This wheat motif, which gave rise to the term wheat cent, was used from 1909 until 1958 and symbolizes prosperity, agricultural strength, and sustenance. The mention of Republic Le Griffel appears to be a creative artistic attribution, likely referencing Jean Le Griffel, a 20th-century French medalist and sculptor, known for his allegorical and civic works. While not connected to US coinage, invoking Le Griffel here adds an imaginative lens, as if the 1952D penny were viewed not merely as a monetary token, but as a miniature piece of public art carrying moral, civic, and philosophical values on both sides. In this imaginative allegory, Republic doesn't only stand for France's republican values, but as a universal figure, the personified nation upholding liberty, justice, and fraternity, akin to Lady Liberty on American coins. By merging this with Lincoln's stoic profile and wheat symbolism, we create a fictional but meaningful bridge between transatlantic revolutionary ideals. In 1952, America was entering a post-World War II boom while navigating Cold War tensions. President Harry S. Truman was ending his term, and Dwight D. Eisenhower was elected that November. The values of unity, faith, and liberty were paramount. The coin, though small, encapsulated these ideals, especially through Lincoln's association with emancipation, E pluribus unum, as a call for national cohesion. In God we trust, added in the 1950s to underscore spiritual strength amid communism fears. If viewed through a French philosophical lens, this penny becomes more than just American. It becomes a universal token of Republican virtues, echoing the Enlightenment principles that birthed both nations' revolutions. As a collectible, the 1952D Lincoln wheat cent is common due to its high mintage in circulated condition. It's typically worth only a few cents. However, in uncirculated MS65 plus condition, or in red road luster, it can fetch higher values, sometimes $5, $20, or more. Rare errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks, RPMs, can increase its worth substantially. A literal sense, the 1952 wheat cent is a modest copper coin representing a fragment of U.S. economic and presidential legacy. Yet, when viewed through a broader cultural lens, one that integrates French philosophical ideals and the artistic ethos of a figure like Le Griffo, the coin transforms into a canvas of democratic values. It becomes a conversation between nations, between past and present, and between the monetary and the moral. Liberty, Egolite Fraternit may not be stamped in metal, but its spirit echoes in the ideals that such coins are designed to immortalize.